Hello friends, in this session I discuss on Navier Bayes algorithm. Navier Bayes is a probabilistic machine learning algorithm based on the Bayes theorem used in a wide variety of classification tasks. In this session you will gain a clear and complete understanding of Navier Bayes algorithm and all necessary concepts so that there is no room for doubts or gap in understanding. So, first, I have discussed on some basic informations about the Navier bias. Navier bias is the simplest solutions are usually the most powerful ones, and Navier bias is a good example of that. Despite the advance in machine learning in the last years, it has proved to not only be simple but also fast, accurate, and reliable. It has been successfully used for many purposes, but it works particularly well with natural language processing, or we can say NLP problems. So, Navier Bayes is a probabilistic machine learning algorithm based on the Bayes theorem used in a wide variety of classifications. So, we can say that Navier Bayes is a probabilistic machine learning algorithm that can be used in a wide variety of classification tasks. Typical applications include filtering spam, classifying documents, sentiments, prediction, etc. Now, why we can call it is a navy? So that's why it is called a navy. So the name navy is used because it assumes the features that go into the model in independent of the each other. That is changing the value of one features and that does not directly influence or change the value of any other features used in the algorithm. So we can say that it is a navy. But why the navy bias does seem to be simple yet powerful algorithm. But why it is so popular is one question. So that answer is that's because there is a significant advantage with navy bias. Since it is a probabilistic model, that algorithm can be coded up easily and the prediction made real quick, or we can say it is a real time quick. Because of this it is a easily scalable and it is traditionally algorithm of choice for real world applications, so that are the required to response to users requires instantly. But before you go into navy bias, you need to understand what conditional probability is and what is the Bayes rule. So first I explain what is the conditional probability. Let's start from the basic by understanding a conditional probability with the help of the example. So here I have select one example. That example is coin toss and fair dice example. So when you flip a fair coin, there is an equal chance of getting either heads or tails. So you can say the probability of getting heads is 50%. Similarly, what would be the probability of getting a 1 when you roll a dice with 6 faces? Assume the dice is fair. So the probability of 1 divided by 6. So answer is 0.166. Alright, we can explain one another example of playing cards. So in this example, if you pick a card from the desk, can you guess the probability of getting a queen given the card is spades? Well, I have already set a condition that the card is a spade. So the denominators, or we can say eligible population, is 13 and not 52. And since there is only one queen in spades, so the probability it is queen given the card is spade is 1 divided by 13. So answer is 0.077. So this is a classical example of conditional probability. So when you say the conditional probability of A given B, it denotes the probability of A occurring given that B has already occurred. So in mathematically, conditional probability of A given B can be computed as probability of A given B is equal to probability of A and B divided by probability of B. Now, I have explained one more example. The example is school example. So, let's see the slightly complicated example here. Like, consider a school with a total population of 100%. This 100% can be C, either a students and teachers, or a population of male and female. With this tabulation of 100 people, what is the conditional probability that a certain member of school is a teacher, given that he is a man? So, to calculate this, you may naturally filter a subpopulation of 60 males and focus on the 12 male teachers. So, the required conditional probability is probability of teacher given male is equal to 12 divided by 60. So, answer is 0.2. Now, we have seen how we can write in this Navier Bayes. So, in Navier Bayes, we can write like this. So, this can be represented as the intersection of teacher A and male B divided by male B. So, likewise, the conditional probability of B given A can be computed. So, the Bayes rules that we use for Navier Bayes can be derived from these two notations. That notation is probability of A given B is equal to probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. It is our one condition for probability of B given A. So that equation is equal to probability of A intersection B divided by probability of A. So now I explain what is the Bayes theorem. So Bayes theorem is a simple mathematical formula used for calculating conditional probability. So conditional probability is the measures of the probability of an event occurring given that another event has, or we can say assumptions, presumptions, or evidence occurs. So the formula is for the Bayes theorem is like so, which tell us how often A happens, given that B happens. So it writes like probability of A given B, also called posterior probability. When we know how often B happens, given that A happens, that's right, probability of B given A, and how likely A is on its own, that right probability of A. and how likely V is on its own. That writes in probability of V. In simple terms, Bayesian theorem is a way of finding a probability when we know certain others' probability. Now, I explain assumption made by Navy Bayes. So, the fundamental Navy Bayes assumption is that each feature makes an independent, or we can say equal, contribution to the outcomes. So now I have explained the Bayes rules. So first is the Bayes rule is a way of going from P, or we can say probability of X given Y, that known from the training data sets, to find probability of Y given X. To do this, we replace A and B in the above formula with the feature of X and response Y. For observation in the test or scoring data, the X would be known while Y is unknown. And for each row of the test data, you want to compute the probability of Y given the X has already happened. What happens if Y has more than two categories? So we compute the probability of each class of Y and let the highest is win. So now I have explained the main Navier Bayes example. So the Bayes rule provides the formula for the probability of Y given X, but in real world problems, you typically have multiple X variables. When the features are independent, we can extend the Bayes rule to what is called Navy Bayes. So it called Navy because of the Navy assumes that the X are independent of each other. So regardless of this name, it's powerful formula. So now we can see how we can write the formula in Navy Bayes. Like here, probability of Y is equal to K given X is equal to probability of X given Y is equal to K, that multiply by probability of Y is equal to K divided by probability of X. Here, K is a class of Y. Now that becomes Navier Bayes. So we can write like that: probability of Y is equal to K given x1 to xn is equal to probability of x1 given y is equal to k multiply with probability of x2 given y is equal to k to multiply this probability of xn given y is equal to k. Now that multiply with probability of y is equal to k, and we can divide that probability of x1 into x2 through xn. So now the main formula of Navier Bayes, or how we can understood the Navier Bayes formula. So our main formula is this. So in technical jargon, the left hand side, or we can say LHS of the equation, is understood as the posterior probability, or simply the posterior. The right hand side has two terms in the numerators. The first term is called the likelihood of evidence. It is nothing but the conditional probability of each x given y is of particular class C, since all the x are assumed to be independent of each other. you can just multiply the likelihood of all the x and call it probability of likelihood of evidence. This is known from the training data set by filtering records where y is equal to c. The second term is called the prior, which is the overall probability of y is equal to c, where c is a class of y. In simple terms, prior is equal to count of y is equal to c divided by and records. An example is better than the hours of theory. So let's see one example of Navy bias. So we can say here we have 1,000 fruits, which could be either banana or orange or other. So these are the three possible class of the y variable. We have data from the following x variables, all of which are binary 1 or 0. So that's data R is long, sweet, and yellow. The first few rows of the training data look like this, like orange, banana, banana, others is the fruits. So long includes 0, 1, 1, 1, sweet includes 1, 0, 1, 1, yellow includes 0, 1, 1, 0. For the sake of computing the probability, let's agree the training data to the form of counts table like this. So in this table, we have C or training data for all our X and Y values. So Y value is banana, orange, and other, and X value is long, sweet, and yellow. For that, we have C our training data. So the objective of the classifier is to predict if a given fruit is a banana or orange or other when only the three features like long, sweet, and yellow are known. Let's say you are given a fruit that is long, sweet, and yellow. Can you predict what fruit it is? This is the same of predicting the y when only the x variable is testing data are known. Let's solve it by using Navier bias. So the idea is to compute the three probabilities, that is the probability of fruit being a banana, orange, or other. Whichever fruit type gets the highest probability is win. So in step 1, we have compute the prior probability for each of the class of fruits. So that is the proportion of each fruit class out of all the fruits from the population. You can provide the priors from prior information about the population. Otherwise, it can be computed from the training data. For this case, let's compute from the training data out of thousands records. In training data, you have 500 banana, 300 orange, and 200 other fruits. So the respective prior, we have find out the value. So now we have put that value in our equation. So we have find out the probability for each fruit. So probability of y is equal to banana is equal to banana is 500 and total fruit is 1000. So 500 divided by 1000. So answer is 0.50. It is the probability of banana. Now we have find out the probability of orange. So total count of orange is 300. That's divided by the total fruit, and total fruit is 1000. So probability of orange is 0.30. Now we have find out the probability of others. So others fruits are 200 and total fruits are 1000. So answer is 0.20. So this way we have find out the probability of banana, orange and others. Now in second step say compute the probability of evidence that goes in the denominators. So this is nothing but the product of P of X of all X. This is an optional step because the denominators is the same for all the class and so will not affect the probability. So probability of long is 500 divided by 1000. Means how many times the long occurs in total training set. So long is occurs 400 in banana and 100 in other. So total long is 500 and our total fruit is 1000. So probability of long is 0.50. Now same way we have find out the probability of sweets. Sweet total sweets is 650 and total fruit is 1000. So probability is 0.65. Now we have find out the probability of yellow. Total yellow is 800. Now we have find out the total fruits. Total fruit is 1000. So probability of yellow is 0.80. So this way we have find out the evidence probability. Now we have see our step number 3. So in step number 3 we have compute the probability of likelihoods of evidence that goes in the numerators. If it is product of conditional probability of the three features. If you refer back to the formula, it says probability of x1 given y is equal to k. Here x1 is long and k is banana. That means the probability that the fruit is long given that is a banana. In the above table, you have 500 banana. Out of that, 400 is long. So we have seen similar way probability of likelihood of banana. So probability of x1 is equal to long, even y is equal to banana. So long is 400 and banana is 500. So 400 divided by 500. So answer is 0.80. This is particular for banana. Now we have applied the second characteristics. It's sweet. So probability of x2 is equal to sweet given y is equal to banana. So total 350 banana are sweet and total banana is 500. So answer is 0.70. Now we see the third property, that's yellow. So probability of x3 is equal to yellow given y is equal to banana. So yellow is 450 value and total banana is 500. So answer is 0.90. So the overall probability of likelihood of evidence of banana is equal to 0.8 multiply with 0.7 multiply with 0.9. So answer is 0.504. So it is a total likelihood of evidence of banana. Now in step 4 we have seen if a fruit is long, sweet and yellow. So what fruit is it? For that, we have find out the probability of each fruit. For that, first we have find out the probability of banana. So, probability of banana given long, sweet and yellow. Now we have put the value from long given banana multiply with sweet given banana multiply with yellow given banana and multiply with probability of banana. So that answer is 0.8 multiply by with 0.7 multiply with 0.9 and multiply with 0.5. So answer is 0.252. That's the probability of evidence. Now similarly we have find out the probability of orange and other fruits. The denominators is the same for all three keys, so it is optional to compute. So that's clear says the banana gets the highest probability. So that will be our predict class is banana. So I hope you can understand this simple example. For more details, I have explained one another example. For that, the data set is represented like this. So concerning our data set, the concept of assumptions made by the algorithm can be understood as we assume that no pair of features are depends. For example, the color being red has nothing to do with type or the origin of the car. Hence, the features are assumed to be independent for this example. Second, each feature is given the same influence or importance. For example, knowing the only color and type alone can't predict the outcome perfectly. So none of the attributes are irrelevant and assumed to be contribute equal to the outcomes. Not one thing, the assumption made by Navier Bayes are generally not correct in real world situations. The independence assumptions is never correct, but often works well in practice, hence the name Navier. Here in our data set, we need to classify whether the car is stolen, given the features of car. The column represent the features, represent our features and row represent individual entry. If we take the first row of the data set, we can observe that the car is stolen. If the color is red, type is spots, and origin is domestic. So, we want to clarify a red domestic SUV is getting stolen or not. Note that there is no example of red domestic SUV in our database. The posterior probability for P y given x can be calculated by first creating a frequency table of the each attributes against the target. Then modeling the frequency table to likelihood tables. And finally, we have used the Navier Bayes equation to calculate the posterior probability for each class. The class with the highest posterior probability is the outcome of the predictions. Now we have seen the frequency and likelihood tables for all three predictors. So first we have see the frequency and likelihood table of colors. Like that, this is our frequency table and this our likelihood table. So in this data set, we have two types of colors like red and yellow. Our base class is stolen. It has two values, yes and no. Now we have put how many times yes occurs in red and how many times no occurs in red? So answer is 3 times yes and 2 times no from this database. Similarly, yellow has 2 times yes value and 3 times no value. So with the help of this frequency table, we have derived likelihood tables. So total count of red is 5. So we can write like in red 3 divided by 5 and 2 divided by 5. In yellow, we have write like 2 divided by 5 and 3 divided by 5 for the color table. Now we have seen the frequency and likelihood tables for the time. Now we have seen we have two types in our main database like spots and SUV. So how many times this yes and no occurs in this tab? So we can see 4 times yes occurs in spots types and 2 times no. In SUV, 1 time yes occurs and 3 times no. So based on the frequency table, we have see our likelihood tables. So spots has 4 divided by 5 in yes and 2 divided by 5 in no. In SUV, we have 1 divided by 5 from the yes and 3 divided by 5 from the no. Now we have see the frequency and likelihood table for origin. So in the origin, we have two values, domestics and importeds in our main database. Now we have find out how many times yes and no value occurs in stolen. So in domestic, 2 times yes and 3 times no occurs. In importance, 3 times yes and 2 times no occurs. Based on our frequency table, we have generate a likelihood table. So in this domestics, we have 2 divided by 5 and 3 divided by 5 for the no value. In importance, we have 3 divided by 5 for the yes and 2 divided by 5 from the no value. So this way we have generate a frequency table. Based on that, we have find out the likelihood tables. So in our example, we have three predictors X like color, type, and origins. So color is red, type is SUV, and origin is domestic. So that's is stolen, yes or no. Now, as per the equation discussed above, we can calculate the posterior probability for probability of yes given X as probability of yes given X is equal to probability of red given yes multiply with probability of SUV given yes and we have probability of domestic given yes based on the probability of yes. So we have 3 divided by 5 for the red, 1 divided by 5 for the SUV and 2 divided by 5 for the domestics. So our answer is for probability of yes given X is 0.048. Now we have find out the probability of no given X. So probability of no given X is equal to probability of red given no, probability of SUV given no, and probability of domestic given no. Multiply with probability of no. So 2 divided by 5 is the answer of red given no, 3 divided by 5 is the answer of SUV given no, and 3 divided by 5 is the answer of domestic given no. So our final answer is 0.144. So since 0.144 is greater than 0.048, which means given the features red SUV and domestics, our example gets classified as no. The car is not stolen. So I hope you can understand the Navier Bayes example. So thank you friends watching this video. I hope you can understand how Navier Bayes algorithm work. Thank you.